Welcome back. Let's turn to another big story today. Fresh floods have now killed 180 people across India. They're affecting 80 lakh people. Think about it. Our parliamentarians don't allow parliament to function. People there are living in misery. The worst hit state is West Bengal, where the situation has turned grim after water was released from barrages. The Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has kept an all-night vigil in the state secretariat. The centre is promising full support. But on the ground, the situation is not very... people are struggling. Here's a ground report.
Rains and floods bringing chaos to several Indian states, killing over 150 people, thousands rendered homeless. Authorities struggling with relief and rescue efforts. In West Bengal, the flood situation remains grim in the aftermath of cyclone Komen, affecting over 37 lakh people in 14 districts, leaving a trail of nearly 70 deaths.
We are here in Bardhaman district and we'd like to show you, we were on our way to Bhatar subdivision. As you can see, one of the bridges, one of the pools over one of the local rivers here have completely, given up, and the alternate route that had been opened a few months back, that has also been completely submerged.
Over 2 lakh cusecs of water released from the Damodar Valley Dam and Durgapur barrage left even high-lying areas flooded. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is monitoring the flood situation and has urged people to move to safer areas.
The Air Force and our NDRF team, everybody is working with the state government, and it's a big problem for the local people. We are monitoring, the Home Ministry is monitoring the entire operation here.
We are coming to you from Bardhaman district, in which several of its blocks, around 27 blocks and 150 gram panchayats have been completely inundated, and this has happened because the Damodar Valley Corporation has released about 1,25,000 cusecs of water.
With respite in rains, floodwater is slowly receding in neighbouring Odisha, but 5 lakh people still remain affected. In Manipur, over 1 lakh people are badly hit by floods. Many parts of Thobal and Chandel district are still cut off, making it difficult for NDRF and army teams to reach thousands of stranded survivors. With Manogya Loiwal and Indrajit Kundu, Bureau Report, India Today.
I just wish some of our MPs focused on those issues. Meanwhile, another issue that our government seems to be focusing on for mysterious reasons is an unofficial ban on 857 porn websites. Not surprisingly, it has sparked massive outrage, particularly in younger India. The government has blocked porn sites by issuing notices to internet service providers. India Today has accessed the exhaustive list that maintains that these websites are being disabled under Section 79(3)(b) of the IT Act. The ban, of course, reigniting that debate on personal liberties. Many outraged netizens are questioning what they describe moral policing by the government. Joining us now is former Information Technology Minister, former Congress MP Milind Deora, who's tweeted his protest against this ban. Appreciate your joining us, Mr. Deora. You've made some very strong words on Twitter. You've said the latest ban is not about liking or disliking porn, it's about government hijacking personal liberties. What will they ban next? Phones and televisions. Are you taking a very extreme step, or do you believe the government is in the wrong?
No, I think, firstly, I think that this recent ban, like every other ban that's taken place in the last year, both at state government of Maharashtra level and other state governments and in the centre, are really diversionary tactics used by the BJP and the government to deflect attention from real issues. And today, for instance, the real issues before the country are the state of the economy, state of our national security, when you have terror attacks very recently in Gurdaspur and Punjab. And most importantly, the fact that Mr. Modi promised the people of India, when they voted for him, that he would provide clean governance. And he said, "Na khaunga, na khane dunga."
No, you're saying it's a diversionary tactic.
Changed completely, and that's why if you talk to people across the country,
yes. No, hold on. You're talking about a diversionary tactic, but what I see from Twitter is that you are protesting against the ban on porn per se. Do you believe that this ban is unworkable, unviable, or do you believe in principle you cannot ban porn sites?
No, what I'm saying, Rajdeep, is any ban, whether it's telling the censor board telling filmmakers what words they can and can't use in movies, or whether it's banning porn. Of course, child pornography has to go, and those who are uploading it or those who are producing it should be booked with the most stringent sections of the law. But any of these bans, whether it's the ban, as I said, imposed by the censor board, or whether it's the ban on pornography, which happened this weekend, I think a knee-jerk process of banning any of these things is what's extremely dangerous in a democracy like ours. I'm not in favor of the government or a bureaucrat or a minister sitting in New Delhi deciding what is right for the people of India in terms of what they can eat, what they can watch on television, what they can watch in the privacy of their homes. And I think any of these bans, especially the most recent ban on pornography, my opinion, you should have a multi-stakeholder process, a consultative process, bring different stakeholders on board, bring sociologists, bring constitutional experts. If you feel there's a law and order element to it, bring people from the law and order
Milind Deora, it's interesting.
Bring people from the technology space, because it has an internet component as well.
Sorry to intervene. It's interesting you're now saying all this, but you will well recall that when you were in power, the UPA government with Section 66A in particular tried to clamp down on internet freedom at the time. It's nice when you're in opposition that you remember freedom. I hope that if next time, if you ever come back to government, you will say the same thing.
Rajdeep, again, you're comparing apples and oranges, because when we were in power and when 66A was enforced and it was being misused, I admit it was being misused, it wasn't a law that was brought about by one minister or by a bureaucrat. It was a law that went through the entire consultative process. It went through Parliament. The Cabinet approved it, had a consultative process, brought it to the Lok Sabha. They sent it to a standing committee. The standing committee presented its report to Parliament, got discussed in the House, voted on in the House, and then it became a law. When we found cases of misuse, we fixed the problem immediately by giving an advisory to state governments that they cannot evoke 66A. So that's a separate issue altogether.
No, the issue is of internet freedom.
Just arbitrarily banning anything that one bureaucrat or one minister or that a certain section of people living in Nagpur decide is extremely dangerous for a country like ours. You can't tell the world that we're a banana republic and we just go about banning anything arbitrarily. I mean, even the censor board, for instance, the way they went about saying you can't say the word Bombay in movies. Why can't you have a consultative process? Why can't you bring different stakeholders together and then take a decision?
Can I tell you what one of the stakeholders, i.e. the court, said, Mr. Deora?
The public at large, and then take a decision.
Mr. Deora, can I tell you what one of the stakeholders, former Supreme Court Chief Justice R.M. Lodha, had observed in the case of pornography bans? He said the time has come when law should be faster than technology. The time has come when there needs to be a synthesis of law, technology and governance to control pornographic material on the internet. Do you believe that we need a law?
Well, Rajdeep, I'm not in a position to say whether, and I don't want to sort of say, I'm not a proponent or an advocate of saying it's good to watch pornography. But I personally believe, as a personal philosophy, that if you're doing something within the four walls of your own room and you have the right to privacy, and I think the Chief Justice also said that banning it would be against people's personal liberties. I think that's for people to decide what they want to watch and what they want to eat. I'm personally against the government in any country, and especially in our own country, and any government telling us what we can do and what we can't do, and what we can watch and what we can eat.
Are you saying therefore?
That's something which I'm principally against, and I find it extremely hypocritical.
Are you saying therefore, Mr. Deora, that those who are going and saying, "I've never watched porn,"
for you, and tobacco is good, but doing all these other things is bad for you? The same government said tobacco is good for you. Members of Parliament who are sitting on the Health Committee of Parliament of the BJP said that smoking is good for you and tobacco is good for you and there's no harm in smoking.